The authorities were desperate for a conviction. Lord Sidmouth was ill in October, but derived more benefit from the termination of the Derby trials than from all that the medical men could give him. They were also willing to take extraordinary measures to prevent Oliver's name from being introduced. It is clear from the briefs in the Treasury Solicitor's papers that the Crown had at first intended to put Thomas Bacon, who had not been involved in the actual rising, on trial first for treason and insurrection. But while, as the brief shows, the Crown could have mounted a case against Bacon without calling upon Oliver's evidence, the veteran reformer would certainly have forced the issue in some way and might even have defended himself. At the 11th hour, the Crown changed its tactics. We have resolved not to bring forward any prosecution in which Oliver's name can be brought in question. With Brandreth as the leading defendant, it was possible to limit the charges to the overt acts of rebellion. Moreover, the prisoners themselves were isolated until the time of their trial and may not have known the full story of Oliver's role, although their relatives sold everything, down to their beds, to provide funds for the defense. It was only in the autumn when a radical wire worker in London named West formed a defense committee and at the last moment persuaded Hunt to attend at Derby that any national aid was forthcoming. Indeed, it is not impossible that government brought some pressure to bear on the defense. Even on the scaffold, pains were taken to prevent the victims from exercising their customary right to their last words, the chaplain interposing himself between the condemned men and the crowd. The radical press argued with some color that an understanding had been reached with the prosecution, attributing the worst motives to Lawyer Cross. Brandreth's case was hopeless. Might the Crown have hinted that the lives of some or all of his fellows might be spared if the defense made no mention of Oliver's part? Or might the prosecution have threatened to implicate many more reformers if Oliver's testimony had been called upon?